Today we are going over the Myers Lake Island Zoo. So let's find out what this is. Let's see, squeezing the margins. Myers Lake Island Zoo, situated in a sun-drenched corner of Greece. Oh, nice. Myers Lake Island Zoo is Dominic Myers' first foray into the world of zoo building. Question: who is Dominic Myers? As such, he started small, and then crammed as much into it as he could. These two elements have combined to make a somewhat subpar zoo, so there's plenty of room for improvement, assuming you can first find the space for it. Alright, so thank you for joining me on this journey, and if you like this video, please click the thumbs up button at the bottom. And if you're really enjoying what I'm doing or would like to encourage me, I love encouragement, please click the subscribe button and to be notified of when I put up new videos and to help me grow. But thank you so much for your support and your help and just all the encouragement I get. So let's go on into Dominic Myers' subpar zoo.
Hey there, you'd better sit down for this.
Hi Nancy,
I've got some
what's
news.
going on?
A week ago, Bernie went missing in the Arctic.
A
I know. I only just found out.
week
Apparently,
ago?
our illustrious board of governors decided it was best not to tell anyone while the search parties were still out
Oh,
looking
wow.
for him. But a few days ago, they called off the search, and they hadn't found him.
Oh.
So they had him declared legally dead, just so they could sell off all of Bernie's zoos. Everything, from the aardvarks to the
They
zebras.
declared him legally
They didn't
dead?
even wait for Bernie's daughter Emma to get back from overseas before they cashed in. They offloaded the whole company to a slimy hedge fund manager called Dominic Myers. Mark my words, he only wants the zoos to help buff out his tarnished image. Anyway,
Dominic
I guess
Myers,
he's your new
eh?
boss now. Not mine, though. He fired me. Good luck.
He fired you, Nancy?
I know you'll do your best. I know you'll protect the animals.
I will try to protect the animals, and good luck to you. So, are we gonna...
First, let me say how sorry I
Hello?
am that we're meeting in such awful circumstances. I was a great admirer of Benjamin. Wait, no, Bernard. You may not know this, but we were actually very good friends.
You
That's
were?
why it's going to be such
You
an
didn't know
honor to
his
continue
name.
His life's work of letting people pay me to see animals. I can see you're still sad, though. Perhaps this will lift your spirits. I'm making you senior zoo manager. It's a position of great responsibility, although these same wages. I've also bought a new zoo which you're going to be in charge of. It's a bit of a fixer-upper, but it's nothing
This
you
one,
can't handle.
huh?
All you have to do is make the animals happy, get those annoying protesters to leave, expand the zoo a skosh, adopt a grizzly bear and a Siberian tiger,
what?
make sure the zoo is extremely profitable, and then just pass a teeny tiny little inspection. Trust me, you'll have more spare time than you know what to do with.
What did you just say?
Also, you have to research some bears or something. I forget the details.
Okay. All right, now, let's find out what he said without him rushing through it. Okay, so our first objectives. We need a yearly profit of 15K. All right. Have at least 1,150 guests in the zoo for 3 months. All right, and have no protesters. Right now I have 12. Okay. Then I need to adopt a grizzly bear, have at least 14 habitat species in the zoo, earn a yearly profit of 20 grand, and have at least 1,600 guests in the zoo, probably for an amount of time. Okay, so we'll go ahead with that. Now I have a checklist. I'm going to go through the checklist. I'm just going to show you this really fast. You have a habitat here, a habitat here, a habitat here, a habitat here, 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 and during the introduction I worked on this exhibit and this exhibit. So there's really, they just crammed all these habitats in, and I'm almost positive none of these animals are correctly spaced. Now, look over here. There's a path, so I could do a little thing over here and put somebody over here. The same thing over here. They actually have a bridge on this one. I could put something over here. If you turn around, there's a path right here. And there's this beautiful area over here. So I could do all of that. There's this little island here. There's this island here. See, out there, right there, that's the boundary. So I could use all of this area over here if I could get to it. Okay, so I do have room to grow. I just have to actually grow. So, like I said, I'm going to press play. We're going to start, and it might be a time lapse, or I just might do some cuts and say this is where I've done and this is where I'm at. So, let's get going. And press play. Oh, how nice. I like that music. Nice way to get us into this. And this is, I guess I'd call it a jump cut. I did a little intermission there with the fade in. And this is just showing you that I've created a new habitat and I've put 4 different species in it from the species we had. And they are liking this a whole lot better than where they were before. I can tell you that. It's much bigger and broader. So I have the reticulated giraffes, I have my African elephant, I have my common warthogs, and my plains zebras. All of them are in this habitat. And they all can be in this habitat because they're all Africa plains and they're all herbivores. Mostly. Don't quote me on the warthogs. And so, yeah, I put them all in this area, and I think they're going to do a whole lot better here than where they were before. And I am doing this voiceover about a week after I edited this together. So, cross my fingers that I remember what I did. But it looks like right now I am just making sure that the animals are happy with what they have. Their enrichment's good, their plant is good, the terrain is good, water and food, space requirements are great. And yeah, so we're just going to go with that. And I just put up viewing points for the guests, made sure they could get there, have enough of necessities and stuff for them there. And I also put in, as you can see up at the top corner there, I'm not going to tell you which side because I'm backwards. Up at the top corner, I actually put in staff facilities because staff facilities are greatly needed in this zoo. They don't have a whole lot. So with each new habitat I'm putting in, and as I'm watching my money, I'm making sure that I'm not overspending myself. I'm putting in staff facilities next to each of the habitats. Works a lot. They have a little pool there. Then I come over here to where this is where the elephants were. And that water needs cleaned up. I'm watching my money. I'll get it cleaned up as soon as I have enough funds for it. But right now I'm just taking the rest of the enrichment items for the elephants and I'm moving them over here. Currently I have 1 African elephant. I will be getting more as the scenario goes on. So that's just fine. And as we are doing this, let's see. Yeah, oh, watch it. It's going to turn red right about, nope, not yet, not yet. The heat map is going to come up and now. Ooh, so close. The heat map comes up when you move the sprinklers around. I guess so that you can see the radius of the sprinkler when it's working. But it works out all right. Now, this upcoming segment is going to be just music, and it's going to be a little bit faster, because I'll just be checking each of the species' escape points and sheltering for this habitat. So I thought, well, let's go ahead and put some fun little music in here. Fast forward it only about 2 times because it's not that long, and we'll see what we're doing. But here we go. And there we go. Ah, everyone is happy and content. No one's going to jump over the wall. We're good. Then I come over here, and this is where I put my spotted hyenas. Because before they were really crammed into an area 1/3 the size of this. Now spotted hyenas need a whole lot of space, so I gave them a whole lot of space. And they don't need a whole lot in their group. They need a female and a male, possibly another male. It's a very matriarchal society. That's what I found out. And more than one female, they start fighting and getting anxious with each other. So I have a female already, and I thought, well, let's see if I can grab a male for her so we can get a family started. So that's what I'm looking at now, seeing if my spotted hyenas I'm going to have any luck with, and we'll see what we do. But I don't think, let's see, yeah, so I'm looking around and it's only females right now. And I think about it for a second or two, and then it's like, no, I'll just wait. And so that's my spotted hyena. She's happy though, because that's a good spot for it. And now we're going to take a little bit of a cut there, and we're going to focus on this area right here, which is where our mandrills are. They're not happy in that spot. It's much too narrow, much too small, and we have too many mandrills. So how's this for coming out of that little cut where the Gemsbok, no, the Nyala, where the Nyala and the plain zebra were? I made that into one habitat and I moved the mandrills over. And that gives them just enough plus some space for what they need. And now I got them in. So now I'm just making sure that their enrichment and their climbing needs are met. Mandrills are very, very picky, I found out. They need a lot of climbing space, just like all the other primates do. And so you can give them enough land space, but if their climbing space is insufficient, they're not going to be happy. So right now I'm double checking and I'm seeing that, all right, so I'm looking, they have enough shelter, they have a good habitat, there's no big escape points, because the walls are tall enough and not climbable. I mean, that's great. But you see that orange bar right there? That means they don't have enough climbing space. So I go ahead and I put in some more structures for them to climb around on and just play around in. And let's put it right there. Do shift, pull it up a little bit, right about there, and snap. We're in. Then we double check, and that did the job right there. And we don't have to worry about shelter because they have that whole building right there. Not the whole building, but half of that building. And so I'm kind of happy with this. Now I just finished putting up the education boards for the guests. The mandrills are happy. They have a better space now. I also, several of the older mandrills that were just too many mandrills, I went ahead and I sent them to the Animal Trade Center and sold them off, or released them to the wild, whichever one would get me conservation points or money at the time. That's what I needed to do, so that's what I did. And there we go. So this is my plan for this zoo. Not necessarily build a whole lot of new habitats, but work with what I got and reorganize things. It's like, I can't change the house walls, but I can change what's inside the house. So that's what we're doing. And always keeping an eye on the money, making sure I'm not moving too fast. And here, so they asked for grizzly bears. So I'm getting a couple grizzly bears, and we're doing a time lapse in this one, because I'm going to show you guys this is where the reticulated giraffes were. So what I'm doing here is I'm just getting it ready for the grizzly bears. not a big problem. And let's see. And as we're doing this, I mean, grizzly bears, obviously, they're not used to island weather or off the coast of Greece weather. So they're from the Rocky Mountains. Colder, much colder. And so I try to give them a bit of mountain area here, give them some rocks and stuff. Then after I'm done with the rocks, I'll go ahead and give them some trees and put in some flora, not fauna. Fauna is the grizzly bear, so flora is the plants. I don't like that tree. Let's see if we can get rid of that tree. Can we get rid of that tree? Past me, can we get rid of that tree? Thank you. There we go. Just wasn't working for me, so we'll go with that. There we go. So this is just me setting this up, making sure it's what I think would work. I mean, I'm looking at that little rock outcrop, and that's a great focal point where the guests can see it, and hopefully the grizzly bears will like it. I mean, I would love to go exploring on that, find out what's around it. That would be so cool. But yeah, so we're just going along here, and this kind of reminds me of when I would go to Cheyenne Mountain Zoo. It's a zoo in just west of Colorado Springs, Colorado, near Pikes Peak. And it's a narrow zoo. It's right on the side of the mountain. So you have to literally hike up and down the mountain to see the animals. And they've done a really fantastic job there. And I always enjoyed it so much going there. And I kind of wish I could go back. They actually had it so that you were at human head, giraffe tongue level. It was kind of fun. And then they'd have these things where you could feed the giraffe and stuff. I never wanted to feed the giraffe. Their tongues, their blue tongues just look so, no, I'm not going there. I'll watch other people feed the giraffes, but I'm not going to feed the giraffes. But it's fun watching them. And so it was always good going there. I haven't been for over 15 years. Whoa, that's a long time. All right, so this here, I'm having to adjust my little focal Rocky Mountain area here because for some reason the bears couldn't access it. That's what the blue was. I wasn't certain why, so I fixed it up. Now we got the two bears in there, and I'm going to put the snow in. How nice. And then get some education for the guests. And we are good to go on this grizzly bear habitat. Grizzly bears are kind of fun, but they're very picky. They're solitary animals. They don't like company. So having more than two in there at a time is sometimes tricky. All right, it looks like now I'm working on that middle area. Ooh-wee. Yep, there we go. So I got rid of where the mandrills were. I switched where the tortoises were. They were in that small little square section in the corner. Well, I moved them over to the hook section, I guess you could call it, the one that's kind of shaped like a weird hook. And I merged those two habitats together, and I put in American bison. Hooray! And I moved the tortoises over to that hook section. Now I'm looking at this and thinking, what can I do here? See, I know one of the things they asked me to do was a Siberian tiger. So let's see if this is a good place for Siberian tiger. I'm checking out my space requirements right now. Let's see, what are we doing here? Yep. So if I click on one of these and I go to that Zoopedia, gives me the space requirements. So I can adopt a Siberian tiger and then go in and create a barrier for it. Voila! Magic of editing. So that space, I created the barrier, made the area right, and I'm making sure, this is one of the things I'm making sure of, that the habitat is taken care of properly by the staff. Now that I have my tiger in, let's find out. Oh, yep, there's an escape point right over there. This is why it's so important to check your habitat's area and animals' escape points and shelter. Because this helps forestall a whole lot of headache if you check this. So let's do that, and we're just going to bring this up to probably more than it needs to be. Truthfully, it's hard to gauge when they're in rocks like that. Tigers are cats. Cats jump and climb. What do you expect? So, let's look at this. His name is Birdie. B-E-R-D-Y. Birdie. Okay. I have a Siberian tiger named Birdie. And, well, he looks happy here. Well, it looks like he needs some enrichment. He's happy with his terrain and his space. That works. He does not like the plants I have, so let's get some plants here that are Asia, taiga, and temperate. Let's go for it. Let's see if I can get it with the least amount of plants possible. Continent, Asia, biome, taiga, and temperate. Alrighty. So now that that's, I double check, I look over, debate which one. Oh, wow, that's big. Am I really doing that? Oh, I'm really doing that. I mean, look, it went green almost all of a sudden. Okay, now these guys, these are so, I love the way these look. These dead kind of stumps. They're just so, I think they're beautiful. Then I put in this, and looky there, with the least amount of plants, I got the max amount of coverage. And we're just going to have to work on enrichment there. Okay, so that was actually one of the goals we needed, was to put a Siberian tiger in there. And if you notice down in the corner, I put the elephants back where they were, but now I have more elephants, and I also put some African buffalo in that area. So we're getting more animals in the zoo, and we're actually maximizing our space. So right next to the tigers, with a huge wall in between, I'm going to put gemsbok, which are a desert animal that look like an ungulate, I guess you'd call it, in the deer and antelope family, except they're from Africa. And they like deserts. I think they're from Africa, maybe Asia. Anyway, they're a desert animal. But they're in the deer and antelope family. And they're the ones that could give unicorns cause for what should I call it? The legend of unicorns could possibly have originated from people seeing these gemsboks from profile. And you will see why, because they have some fantastic antlers, or horns if you want to call them that. Maybe you should call them horns. Antlers I always associate with elk and deer, mule deer. So as the gemsbok are coming in, I am putting in their food and water and finding out if they need a shelter or not. Oh, looky there. I got my silver. And I got my gold all at the same time. Hooray! Oh, we can't hear Dominic. I wonder if that's too bad or not. Well, anyway, he's telling us that he's glad we got everything done. He's making a few jokes in poor taste. And he's also saying that congratulations. There we go. And then he comes back in a few seconds and he tells us the same thing again with the gold star. So we got the silver and the gold at the same time, which works out pretty well It just means that I was hard at work trying to get things done. And trying to get things done with an eye on the money and an eye on the happiness of everybody. So yes, it is possible. You just have to be very, very conscious and aware of what's going on. So let's come on down here. So I have completed this level, and now the only thing that I'm going to do until I do the end thing, which, by the way, if you guys have been enjoying this, thank you so much for sticking around and watching this. It has been a little bit faster, but I think it's been all right the way this has gone. So thank you so much. I am Oberon Titania. If you enjoyed it, please give a thumbs up. If you really enjoyed it or want to just encourage me to continue, go ahead and subscribe. And that way I will be able to notify you of when I post new videos. If you want to leave a comment, please do, because I really, really appreciate the help in the comments. The feedback I get from so many people is wonderful. So we are doing this. All right, nope, I still have it paused while I'm getting this done. That's what it is. And let's do that little run there. Make sure there's no snow overlapping. That works. Now, towards the end of this, I noticed as I watched over my edits and stuff like that, that I hadn't really focused or done any close-ups of the animals. So I went back and I recorded some of the animals again, and they are attached right before the end of this video so that you can see some of them and some of the little babies. I like the little babies. They're cute. And some of the others are just fun to watch. But we are going here, and I think we're not going to use that. I don't like that. Let's go with open. Yes, one without a floor. That way we can bury it without any problems, and it's just high enough for these guys. There we go. Perfect. Okay. So, but yes. So seeing how it works and getting a zoo to work is great, but spending the time to actually watch the animals and enjoy what the developers have made here in this program, because they have done a fantastic job when you think about it. They have planned this, organized it, created these animals in a computer system to look, if not 100% lifelike enough to be enjoyable to watch. It is really, really great to watch these things. So, and it's a good reason for me to play this program, because I miss going to a zoo. I have not been to a zoo in a very long time. And mainly it's because of where I live, and also because of what's going on with the pandemic crisis going on right now. But mainly it's because I don't live in an area where I can have easy access to a zoo. So this is a wonderful, wonderful escape for me. So thank you so much for joining me on this. And look at him. See those long, long horns? Now let's see if I can get a profile shot. Oh, come on, come on, move for me, move for me. That's right, that's right. Let's get a profile and get a unicorn right there. See, isn't that the perfect unicorn shot? Those long, long horns coming out of his forehead. Let's call him the masked unicorn. Sounds kind of like Zorro there, doesn't it? Yeah, with those black and white. The streaks on the eyes kind of mimic the angle of the horns on their foreheads. And yes, here's a Siberian tiger. Look at him. Let's actually put on a lamp soon. Yes, there we go. Oh, he's blinking in the sudden light. Oh, has it been a long day? Has it been a stressful day? Well, you got your bed right over there. Let's see. Will you go over there? You're a cat. Sometimes you just don't do what you... there we go. Nice big yawn. Let's lay down. Oh, oh yes, that's so nice. Okay, now everybody, just relax. Take a big yawn. There we go. Lay down and go to sleep. And let's just pretend that this tiger is dreaming about all the improvements that have happened in this zoo. So let's take a look at all the improvements that have happened in this zoo. There's the grizzly bear habitat. How nice. And we come over here, and here's the mandrills. Nice big area for them. The American bison, which I grew up thinking is buffalo, but they're American bison. Then the tortoises and the hyena habitat. I got a couple hyenas in there now. Then we go across this bridge over this beautiful, beautiful area. Then there's this little viewing area for the African grasslands. I mean, look at that. Don't they look happy they can run around now? They have water to swim in. I did move the elephants over, so let's go check out where I put the elephants. And remember, Siberian tiger dream. So, yep, there's the ride. There we go. Okay, so if we go this way, I just want you guys also to notice that on that island, that small little island there, I actually put a little bridge and I created a staff workspace. It's like a little community for the staff right there. It's not built up or anything. So there's the elephants with the little calf and the African buffalo. See, those are African buffalo. Then I put the aardvarks right there. And the Nyalas right next to the mountain. And then we come back up here. And there's the Gemsbox on the desert. And the Siberian tiger right there. Now we're at the guest height to see what they see. And then, of course, we break the fourth wall. And hello, Siberian tiger. And now, let's go ahead and say thank you for the dream. And we will, what's going on now? Watching the sunset or the sunrise as it comes over. So thank you so much for joining me on this. And you know, I think this one went a whole lot better. This was Myers Lake Island Zoo from Planet Zoo Career Mode scenario. Going through it, and I think I like this. Let me know your comments if you think I can do something better. And here's the animal shots. I'll just let you guys enjoy this for a bit. Pretend there's words saying American bison. I love it when they hold those little blue things. That's just so great. And who are we looking at now? This is the plains, the African grasslands habitat. Yep, that's zebra calf. A foal, sorry. There we go. Oh, and a bit of wildlife right here. Domination. Who's the alpha? You're the alpha. Good going. Did you hear that? The guests liked that little show. And we are grizzly bear right there. And I think this is Chloe. And I am so glad that she is actually climbing on those planks. That is so great. Hello, Chloe. Having a good day? She's like, yeah, whatever. And going on, oh, baby mandrill. which truthfully I was kind of surprised at how this baby mandrill looked because those eyes are kind of scary. Well, mandrills aren't known for being the most human appealing animals anyway, so. But they are fascinating. I mean, look at those hands and feet as this little one is just climbing. And the devs have done a really great job in getting this program to actually register different levels as the animals, the AI, walk around. Wow, what a jump. Yep. Okay, and the next one. Ooh, we are at the spotted hyenas. So, remember I started with 1. I now have like 3 adults and 1 child. Oh, now that's kind of cute. Look at that. That's right, wiggle your ears. Oh, look at that sun. That sky is fantastic. Okay. Thank you again for joining us. I hope you have a great day wherever you are. I'll see you later. Bye.